This video will be a quick reminder on how to find the area and perimeter of different rectangles. Just to begin, remember the area is going to be the space inside the rectangle, and the perimeter will be referring to the outside of the rectangle. Another way of thinking about this is that if you think of a backyard, the perimeter is the fence, and the area is all the space inside the backyard you actually get to play in. So let's look at the perimeter to start. To find the perimeter of a rectangle, you're going to add up all of the sides. The sides of a rectangle are going to be length and width. So if you add length plus width, you'll get your perimeter, or you can take 2 times your length and add it to 2 times your width. For these examples, in that first one, I'm going to take 10 plus 10 plus 4 plus 4 and end up with 28 units by adding up my length and width. And then for the second rectangle, which happens to actually be a square, you're going to take 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 to get 48. Now there are more efficient ways to add this up, but this is how we're going to do it just to start. So now I have another example that we're going to work through together. Let's find the perimeter of this rectangle. So they actually give us the perimeter. They say it's 36 units, and they give us one of the sides, and they say it's 10 units. So let's say that that side is our length, and now we're looking to find our width. We don't know what the width is, but we do know the length is 10, so I'm going to say 10 plus the width equals 36. Because we already know 2 of the sides, I can subtract that from the total perimeter. So I'll subtract my 20, which is both of my lengths of 10 added together, and then I'll end up with 16. I'll figure out what number times 2 or plus itself will equal 16. I know that's 8, so our width of this rectangle is 8 units. Now we're going to go over how to find the area of the rectangles. To find the area, you're going to multiply the length times the width. So in this first example, our area is 4 times 10, which equals 40 square units. And in our second example, which is that same square, it's going to be 12 times 12, which gives us 144 square units. In this example, I'm giving you the area, and I'm going to give you the length, and we're going to need to use that information in order to find the width. So we know our area is 80 square units, our length is 10 units. So I know that 10 times the width will equal 80 because the length times the width equals 80. Well, I happen to know that 10 times 8 equals 80, so my width has to be 8. Going to go over our perimeter problems first from our worksheet. Our first rectangle has a width of 18, a length of 22. To find the perimeter, I'm going to do length plus width, or I can do 2 times my length plus 2 times my width. I'm going to choose just to add them up. 22 plus 22 plus 18 plus 18. I'm going to combine my doubles first. 44. This would be 36. Now I'm going to just set this up on the side. Double check. So our perimeter of this figure would be 80 units. Now I'm calling it units because I don't have any units with these numbers. So whatever units it is, there's going to be 80 of them. For our second problem, we're only given the length, and then we're given the entire perimeter. So I know that the length plus the width is going to equal 52 centimeters. Well, our length is 15, So 15 centimeters plus 15 centimeters plus both of our widths will equal 52. Well, I know 15 and 15 is 30. Now all I need to do is subtract 30 away from here, and I will say that our widths doubled will equal 52 minus 30 is 22. So what plus itself equals 22, or 2 times what equals 22? I know that 11 times 2 equals 22, so our width must be 11. So our width equals 11 centimeters. I'm now going to go over our area problems from our worksheet. So in our first rectangle, we had a length of 16 and a width of 12 units. Our formula for area is length times width equals our area. Well, my length is 16, my width is 12. So I know if I multiply those two numbers together, I will get my area. There's a lot of different ways we can do it. I'm going to choose for this to do an area model. I'm going to break up my 16 into 10 and 6. I'm going to break up my 12 into 10 and 2. I'll multiply 10 times 10 to get 100. 2 times 10 to get 20. 2 times 6 to get 12. 10 times 6 to get 60. Then I will just combine all these up. 20 and 60 is 80. 12 onto that is 92. 92 plus 100 equals 192. And these are square units. So 192 square units for our first one. Now if we look down to our second problem, we have the width, we have the area, we do not have the length. The length times the width equals our area, so I don't know what the length is. I'm multiplying that number by 11, and that's going to get me 231 centimeters squared, or square centimeters. So I'm going to turn this around into a division problem, and it's going to become 231 divided by 11 equals our length. And for this problem, I'm going to use a ratio table, because I need to find out what times 11 is going to get me my 231. So 1 times 11 is 11. Eventually, I need to get to 231. I don't know how many groups that is up here. So I'm going to start by multiplying this by 10, and I'll say, well, let's try just 10 times 11. I know 11 times 10 is 110. Not there yet. Getting closer, though. So I'll double that. So that was a times 10. Now I'm just going to do a times 2, or a double. That would give me 20, so 20 times 11, or I could just say I'm going to double 110. That is 220. Now I'm getting close, now I'm going to do some subtraction. 231 minus 220 to tell me how many groups of 11 I am away. So I am only 11 away. So I know that that is only one group of 11, so I'm going to add one more group. So that would only have 21, and then I would just add 11 in. 220 plus 11 is 231. So I know that the length of this must be 21 centimeters.